Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Sympathy Kiss. Continuing Monato's route. I think we just hit the next chapter. Are we in chapter 6 now? No, chapter 5. We're in chapter 5. I was also just making sure the audio wasn't crunchy as I started recording. Oh my god, right? I should check this. I've been good at checking it beforehand. Sometimes it doesn't matter. We know this. But he just had his little aside with his birthday for his sister, so. One day around noon, Minato strode up to my desk while I was working. He's going to invite us over. That's what I'm expecting. Masawa, about the work I just asked you to do. Oh, what are you working on now? Minato peered at my monitor, his brows furrowed in confusion. What? Stop! I'm just on Reddit talking about my favorite Otome boyfriends. It's none of your business. I explained that Saotome asked me to check some designs, so I was looking over the data he sent me. Oh, Saotome asked you, huh? Minato appeared to have mixed feelings about that. I panicked a little, but I assured him that it wouldn't affect the work I was originally supposed to do. It's not like I'm mad at you. It's like I'm mad at Saotome trying to steal my girlfriend. Why can't we all just get along and have a harem? You know, I'm just saying. In other games, like, I kind of understand, like, you're off on this path, you're off over here, you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever. But, like, here right now, the man harem between our work partners with Kohei, Mitsuki, Kobase, right? I mean, I'm just saying. And then we've got our side piece, Shoyan, like, right? Because he's out there, he doesn't work with us, but, you know. And the other guys, it's just two of them. One of them we've seen, the other one we literally sent a message to and has never shown up. And then the other guy we met for like 5 seconds. He's supposed to be helping us. From Travesty or whatever. Tempesty. Is that what it was? Tempesty? Travesty. Tempesty is a travesty of a name. Shut up. I'm not okay. But you know what I mean? Like, we've barely seen them, so like, whatever. Although he was the princely guy, right, whatever his name was. Oh, right, and I forgot our man whore. We forgot our whore on the side. Okay, all right. We can all just be in a man harem, but it doesn't have to just be the work buddies. Because, like, I like our little flirty whore we send home with our boss. You know what I mean? We sent him home with our boy toy. Who's now his boy toy. I don't want to know. Actually, I do want to know what's happening. I want to know what's Wait. Back up, and put a pin in this, and hold this for when we go down Kobase's route next, right? We send Nori home with him in every other route because otherwise taking Nori home with us would probably put us on the Nori route, right? So in Kobase's route, do we send Nori home with Kobase and then we get to find out? We're like, so he's your boy toy now? And like, because I'm here for that. This is why they don't ask me for ideas when it comes to games. This is why nobody is like, we want your idea, because it would just be a man harem whorefest. And actually, it's stupid that people don't ask me for ideas, because I think that'd be crazy and fun and ridiculous. But like, whatever. I want to see. I want to see when we end up at Kobase's house and we've just got Nori lounging all sexily over the sofas and we're like, what? It's been like 2 months. Is he still here? And then Kobase's just like, I've just grown accustomed to his company. And like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks nice with the throw pillows. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to be sad. You know what? Let's just imagine that's happening right now. Anyway, I was just a little curious about what you were doing because it all seemed unfamiliar. It makes sense you'd want your opinion on Masawa since you were originally in the design department. Are Relief washed over me, but he kept looking down at the proposal I was holding. There were about 10 sticky tabs with criticisms attached to the proposal. Wow, even Saltame's proposal is this much to fix, huh? I quickly tried to deny that. I told him Saltame's proposal was well organized, and most of the suggestions I made were simply a matter of preference. It was up to Saltame to decide whether to fix them or not, but I just wanted to point them out. That's so like you, Amasawa. I remember you were so concerned about the article's designs when you first joined us. I remembered us butting heads on that. At that time, Minato and I rarely saw eye to eye, and I didn't know how to help him at all. I felt like we were much more friendly now. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, we're more friendly, and then I was like, wait a minute. Let's back this fucking boat up. I feel like we're much more friendly now. He hugged you when you were upset. Okay, I mean, that could just, you're a friendly somebody, oh, okay. Comforting another person. Fine. No, let's not read too much into that. You know, I know we're romancing him, but step back from that. You'd be like, okay, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be like, he's a nice person. He's like, oh, you're upset, so I'm gonna hug you. Okay, fine. But there is no one, not a single motherfucker in this world who is going to be licking all over your fucking bloody finger just because they're your bro. Okay? I'm sorry. If I cut my finger at work, coworkers would be like, oh my god, here's a tissue. Do you need a Band-Aid? Nobody would be like, hold on. And then fucking licking all up my finger. I'm pretty sure if anyone did that, now I know we weren't at work at the time, but I'm pretty sure if any of my coworkers did that, someone is going to HR about it, and it might be me. Because what the actual fuck? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're much more friendly now. Really? On what planet do you live where anything he did the other night was fucking normal? Up until that point, I would have been like, I mean, we're definitely getting romantic, but everything could seem just friendly. Like, we've hung out, we've had a couple drinks, you know, we've gone out and had drinks together. Totally could be friendly, not romantic at all. You helped him shop for his sister. Totally friendly. Doesn't have to be romantic at all. He hugged you when you were upset. Doesn't have to be romantic at all. But there is nothing about sticking your finger in his mouth and licking blood off your finger that is not, well, first of all, it's unhealthy and unhinged. But there ain't nothing about that that's just friendly. That is a whole other level of what the fuck. In the Venn diagram of friendly and something else, that is just what the actual McFucknuggets. Okay, that is off on the side of something else. That's a whole other bubble over there. So that is not, I think we're friendly now. Yes, but also, that's an understatement of the century right now. It's like being like, I think we're getting along better after we just had sex on the desk. What the fuck? I just have to point that out because it's fucking absurd. If you took that scene out, this makes perfect sense in the scheme of what's happened. But that is just the wild card right here. And this is understatement of the millennia. As I got lost in thought, one of the pages of the proposal slipped out of my hand. I picked it up swiftly, but he got a peek at it. And so Saltame's proposal is about fashion? Saltame's proposal was for a column that would offer fashion advice. Just then, Saltame appeared from behind Minato, sneaking up, looking over his shoulder. Why are you looking at my proposal, Ko? How's it going? You done yet? No, you're not done yet. Come on, hurry up. He told me that it was due the following day. I told him not to pressure me, and he playfully poked my head. Huh, weren't you chatting with Ko this whole time? Besides, I thought you could check designs at warp speed, right? Even if I could, I wanted to check them carefully before the deadline, since he entrusted me with this work. Before I could say anything, Minato intervened. Hey, if it's due tomorrow, you don't have to rush her that much. Huh? Well, yeah, but... Just when Saltame tried to speak, Minato grabbed my arm. You know what, Minato, right now you're being problematic. And it's not because you're grabbing my arm and being jealous of Mitsuki talking to me. That's not it at all, because I'm here for that, sure. No, because you're triggering me at work. This is work triggering. Because I am Saltame at work. Like, guys, this is due tomorrow. I'm going to need you to get off your ass and get it fucking done. Okay, I say it a little bit nicer than that, but not by much. I'm like, I am going to need you to respect other people's time and get your shit to me. You know? And then you have people like Minato, like, it's due tomorrow, whatevs. Just wait till 4:59 and she can do it at 6 o'clock at night. I will fucking yeet you out the window, sir. Respect other people's times. Like, seriously? Like, this is really making me mad now. Because, like, yeah, it's due tomorrow, but if Saltame asked us to give it to him, give it back to him tomorrow, then that's one thing. But it sounds like, to me, I'm reading it like, he's got to have his proposal ready tomorrow, so we would need to give it back to him before the last minute, because then he's still got to read through it and everything. Be conscious of other people's time. Jesus. But the world does revolve around us because we are the main character in this, so fair enough, I guess. But, like, him being like, I don't like Saltame coming along and teasing you and, like, flirting with you. All right, I see what's happening here. Look at you getting all jealous. That's kind of cute. I'm okay with it. Amasawa, let's go have lunch together. That took me by surprise, but I had no reason to decline. Yeah, he's getting a little jealous. When I accepted, he turned to toss a few more words to Saltame. How about you take a lunch break too, Saltame? Well, we're headed out, so see you later. He's like, it's only 8:57. You guys just got here. He stalked off, still gripping my arm. I've got all the papers in my hand, flying behind me. Look at Mitsuki's face.
Oh, what was that? Did Minato just forcefully drag Spacey away?
I guess. Well, guess that means Amasawa's starting to change code little by little. And we could change you a little bit. We could just look at... I'd say we have a magic vagina, and yet we haven't had sex with... Well, I mean, we did with Mitsuki, but not before we started changing him. Us just being in their vicinity changes them. Our gravitational pull just changes them. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Just by existing, we change them. Or just by inserting ourselves into their lives when they're like, I don't want to be friends. And you're like, too bad. I mean, which is kind of douchey. But, like, whatever. We're the main character. It's all about us anyway. So, like, I'm just saying. We could save this whole fucking company if we sleep with more people. Wait. I'm definitely unhinged right now. After work, OA dragged me to Evergreen. Oh, okay. The quintessential conversation like we had last time with her.
I thought he was in a dream. When on earth did you two get so close?
Maybe when he shoved my finger in his mouth and licked it and, like, twirled his tongue around it and did some kind of, like, weird... I'm pretty sure he could tie a cherry stem in a knot with his tongue with the shit he was doing to my finger, but it was all, you know, first aid. Okay. I'm just saying. That definitely put us way close. Apparently, Ole saw what happened earlier and was eager for the details. I told her about the day I walked Minato home and the day we went shopping together to buy his sister's birthday present. Did you tell her about the finger licking? And apparently I'm KFC, I'm finger licking good, like literally.
Goodness, so you two are getting all cozy.
Ole grinned at me.
Anyway, so Minato's the possessive type, huh? Well, owners or closed-off people usually get very affectionate once they get attached to you, you know?
It's because we've got nothing better to do. Then she grew serious.
But seriously, you two have gotten much closer than before.
Again, yeah, not anyone is gonna do that kind of first aid, all I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure he was cold to Saltame because he didn't like you being close to him, Spacey.
Yeah, it was obvious. That made my heart leap. As I considered it, Oe spoke with a triumphant look on her face.
Yep, he was totally jealous.
Mm-hmm. Minato definitely seemed to sour when Saltame came along. because he's grouchy and has been kind of pushing you away and has a little bit of self-esteem issues over here. Doesn't think, even though it seems clear that he likes us, he's like, oh, I'm not really good enough. Like, he's not good enough for us type of a thing. You kind of seen those thoughts, and we've heard that in his head. And then Saltame just seems very confident and bubbly and labradoodle-ish. So, like, you can kind of see where even Saltame just being himself and just being friendly and outgoing and whatever is like, oh my god, he's flirting with the girl I like and he's better than me. If you have any kind of like, oh, I'm not good enough for her and she shouldn't be kind to someone like me, and like, especially when he knows he's doing bad shit, you know? So, I get it, I see it. If he really was jealous, I couldn't help but feel excited by the prospect.
So what about you, Spacey? How do you feel about Minato?
Her question was so abrupt that I had no adequate response. Where are the little pictographs with the heart eyes? That's the one I want. But I told her that I was happy that Minato had been opening up to me. I admitted I was also attracted to his kindness and reliability, which often came out around me.
Guess you two really are in love with each other. How about you two just become a couple already? If Minato isn't brave enough, you should just tell him how you feel.
All his words made me blush. I honestly never thought of confessing my feelings to him, but I wondered how Minato would react if I told him. I had a fun evening discussing these things, and we drank well into the night. I had a fun evening discussing these things, and I was perplexed. A few days later, on my day off, I was strolling around town after I had lunch with a friend of mine from school. She had plans afterwards, so the two of us said our goodbyes and went our separate ways. Just as I thought about doing some shopping before heading home, Amasawa? I turned around and found Minato standing there. I was surprised to see him for a moment, but I quickly remembered that the station closest to his house was nearby. What a surprise. What are you doing here? When I told him I met with someone from school, his expression twisted. This person's a friend, right? Oh, I was like, why would his expression twist? And then, this is how clueless I am. Like, that should have been obvious. When, like, his expression twisted, you're like, is he jealous of this? I should have known, but not until I got to this line. Okay. When I nodded, his face relaxed. Oh, that's adorable. Oh. Just a little curious. Nothing more.
Anyway, so Minato's the possessive type, huh?
Seeing that reaction reminded me of what Oe said. I feel like now, like, she caught on to the reaction and whatever, and she's thinking back to Oe, like, she's way smarter than I am. In the, like, she's like, yeah, no, I think he's definitely into me. So, but he might be too shy to say anything, but, yeah. It made me hopeful, but I couldn't bring myself to ask why he wanted to know. We both fell silent for several moments. When I built up the courage to ask if he had any plans for the rest of the day, I felt something cold tap against my cheek. Rain? The moment our eyes met, the rain turned into a downpour. Damn, you didn't see the clouds coming in? Let's get out of the rain. Minato took my hand and ran. We ducked into a supermarket nearby to take shelter. I would have gone to like a coffee shop, but we can grocery shop together. It's kind of cute. It's domestic bliss right here. Amasawa, are you okay? The rain hurt. Minato's eyes searched my face. Then he let out a small laugh. Your hair's in the way. Minato delicately brushed away the wet hair sticking to my face. His unexpected touch made my cheeks flush. Wow, I got pretty soaked. I hope this lets up quickly. We'll catch a cold if we don't dry off soon. I looked outside. The rain looked absolutely relentless. I mean, as long as we don't have wet pants. Wet shoes and socks are also bad. But, like, that is like an always bad when your socks and you're squelching in your shoes and you're like, ugh. You know? But there's something especially bad about wet pant bottoms. And it's probably just because, like, if you get soaked in the rain, you are fully expecting, I am going to have uncomfortable socks in shoes or wet feet in wet shoes scenario. You know that that's coming. That's an expectation when you get soaked in the rain or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then when you're like soaked in the rain, you're like, oh my God. But like, especially like, it's just a trigger from the 90s when you had pants so motherfucking long and big, and then they would just soak up, and then the water would just be creeping up because it would just keep it would just keep expanding. You're like, my jeans, they're not even in a puddle anymore, but they keep getting wetter somehow. The water would just keep seeping up, and before you knew it, like your whole fucking calf and wet pants touching your legs. Ugh, I'm gonna vomit. I don't like wet clothes. It's like when you go swimming, and then if you have to go pee, and you're like, okay, you have to like peel your wet bathing suit off, and you're like, ew, ugh, gross, right? But then putting it back on, there is something about having to put back on a wet bathing suit. You're like, ugh, it just feels so gross. It's disgusting. I don't know, and I don't know how people will take a shower, barely dry off, and put on clothes, and it's like, you are still wet. You have not dried and scrubbed every crevice of your body to make sure it's dry, and you just put a shirt on and your back was still wet. How does that not gross you out? I don't know what it is. I don't want wet clothes on me. Oh my God. Ugh. It's just a very weird. I don't like the feeling of wet clothes. I don't like it. Who does? How do you not notice? How do you not notice wet clothes? I mean, when you're totally soaked and your clothes are sticking to you, you're like, I am wet. All my clothes are wet. That's one thing. But it's when then your clothes are like starting to dry and then you move and your wet shirt that was in one spot now touches a different part of you. And that's when you're like, no, heebie-jeebies. You know what I mean? Like, if you're wearing like a wetsuit and it never moved, or again, a bathing suit and it never moves, you don't notice because you just feel the wetness all over your body. But the second you move it and then replace it, ugh, gross. Oh my God. I need to go curl up in a ball and cry now thinking about wet clothes. Random shit that bothers me. I don't know. Minato pulled out his phone. The forecast says it's going to rain for another few hours. Well, I guess we're grocery shopping. Amasawa, do you have plans after this? When I told him I didn't, Minato typed away at his phone again. And then come to my place. I'll get us a taxi now. I tried to refuse, but Minato insisted. No, please, or you're seriously going to catch a cold. I'll tag along then. Are you sure that's okay? I don't want to impose. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me is like, nah, don't worry about me, but like, I'll tag along then. I feel like it's I'll tag along then. Yeah, sure. Like, I don't want to impose is also polite. That's a polite, like, I don't want to impose. Are you sure? And then he's like, yes. And you're like, okay, cool. You know, so that's similar to, are you sure that's okay? But like, so those are kind of middle ground. Don't worry about me is like a rejection, which we don't want to do. So I feel like it's more like, I'll tag along. Yeah, okay. That's like, sure. But the other two, are you sure that's okay? Or I don't want to impose, or the middle ground ones. But I feel like we're probably gonna, it should be a better one. Oh, save file 1 here. Ooh, okay. Then my guess is definitely the absolutely I'll tag along because we want to get his love ending first, or the balance one, and then the work ending would probably come more after this, so. No, it's, I don't want to impose. I mean, that's not a bad one. Okay, that's more the work ending. Okay. Oh, right. This is the balance end. Then there's the work ending, and then there's the love ending. The love ending I could see come. Okay, makes sense. I declined, worried it might trouble him, and Minato just sighed. He came over before. What's wrong with coming again? I struggled to find any reason to refuse after that, so I agreed to go with him. Yeah, so then, okay, that makes sense. The love ending would be like, absolutely. The last time I visited, Minato's home was bustling with activity. This time it was as quiet as an empty concert hall. Everybody's away at school or some. Oh, we are making out on this couch. Feel free to take a shower. I'll put your clothes in the dryer. I did a double take, wondering if I heard him wrong. And then the look over his shoulders. Feel free to take a shower. I don't have cameras in there. I'm good. Wait, hold on. Let me get in there first. Let me put one in there. It felt inappropriate to use his shower after barging into his home like this. You're not a sim. He gave you permission. There's a difference. I attempted to decline, but my shivering body betrayed me with a loud sneeze. See, you're freezing. But getting wetter doesn't seem to make any sense. I get it. You're going to take a hot shower, but like you could just like take my clothes, give me a robe or something and something to dry my hair, and I could just sit here in a towel and a robe or whatever while you throw my clothes in the dryer. The clothes in the dryer part makes sense. He raised his eyebrows at me before flashing a teasing smile, but like, I'm wet, let me take a shower. Let me get wetter. You would be wearing clothes at the time, obviously. What, you think I'm going to sneak a peek while you're in the shower? No, but you might look at my panties when I hand them to you because I'm giving you all my clothes. It's not just here's my top and I'm giving you my bra and my underwear to dry too, because those are probably wet, and who the fuck wants to put wet panties back on? Gross. So like, don't be oogling my bra. What if I was wearing my granny panties? What if that's all I ever wear because they're comfortable? Like, what if this was laundry day and all you had were you're like, shit, the only thing I have to wear out is my sexiest pair of underwear that have been in the back of my drawer for fucking forever because, like, who the fuck ever wears these? And you're like, it's the only clean pair of underwear you have. And now you and he thinks that you wear whore panties. There's so many what ifs going. There's so many ways this scenario could go wrong, and I'm here for all of it. It's gonna be amazing. Startled, I shook my head vigorously. I never thought he'd do something like that. Plus, don't doors have locks on them? You could just lock the bathroom door. I'm just kidding. I won't, of course. Unless you want me to. Now hurry up and take your shower. I'll wait in my room. He took a few steps, then stopped in the doorway. Oh, you'll need some clothes. Wait here for a moment. With that, he left the living room. You're like, I just went shopping, so I have new clothes. When he reappeared, he carried a bundle of clothes in his arms. Here, wear these until your clothes dry. He handed me a short-sleeved t-shirt and a pair of sweatpants. I was like, I hope you're not gonna go, because, like, okay, it's like, okay, I'll get you something to wear. Okay. And you're like, all right, well, his mom's here, but, like, you shouldn't go in and just take your mom's stuff. That'd be fucking weird. Okay? Especially without asking. But they're women's clothes. And then I was like, are you gonna, I'm like, with a t-shirt and sweatpants, it's like, you're probably giving me your clothes, and that's sexier, though. I accepted them gratefully and headed to the bathroom. We walk into his room and he's still changing, and then he's all shirtless. Now, that would have been great. I'm like, oh, I forgot something. Bust into his room. As I put on the borrowed clothes, realization quickly dawned on me. I assumed he grabbed some of his mother's clothes, but these felt much bigger on my body. No, because grabbing his mother's clothes would be, I mean, I get it. It makes sense, and it really just depends on the people involved. But me personally, if you were, I don't care if you're my kid, I don't care if you're my sibling, my parent, whatever. You don't just go in and take my fucking shit without asking me. I don't care if she was cold and wet from the rain. Give her your own damn shit. Just don't go in my closet and take my shit. Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? Just wear my stuff. You asked, do you have a sweater I can borrow? Yeah, here you go. You know what I mean? Like, don't just take my clothes. So that would be really kind of rude of him to just take his mother's clothes. But she could be the type of person who wouldn't care. I mean, you don't know, but... Plus, also, this is just sexier in the scenario that we were wearing his clothes, you know? And the scent that wafted from them was unmistakably Monato's, which just says he either puts cologne on his clothes after he washes them, or he's worn these before he gave them to us. So again, you're giving clothes to someone to wear after taking a shower while their clothes dry, and you give them worn clothes? Gross. But also, not in this scenario because you're like, whatever. But like... he's gonna, I mean, I guess it could be like, oh, yeah, it smells like him, like his detergent, but then his whole family smells like that, so it's not sexy, you know what I mean? It's just a no-win scenario here. It enveloped me as if I was being embraced by him again. But then again, if his clothes are in his room, even if they're freshly washed, if he like uses any like cologne or anything like that or whatever, it's gonna pick up scents in the room. So fair enough, that could have happened. I shook my head, ridding myself of the thought before knocking on his door. Come in. You walk in and he's naked. It's the only other outfit he owns. As I creaked the door open, his eyes widened when they landed on me. He's like, I never thought a girl wearing my sweatpants would be so sexy. But he quickly turned away. Like he's blushing furiously because that's exactly it. I mean, I'm not a man. And I've never seen a woman wearing my clothes and been like, oh, God, I'm so turned on by that. But I'm just imagining in my head if the scenario were reversed and I was like, here's a robe for you. And okay, my little satin robe and some hot guys getting out of the shower wearing my little satin robe or something that literally just hangs in the back of my door and I never wear. Like, that's kind of hot. I'd feel the same way he is. You know what I mean? All the more reason to get a really fancy dead husband robe. For the off chance that I ever get caught in the rain with a hot man and I need to bring him back to my house so he can take a shower and then I give him a robe to wear and I'm giving him the dead husband robe. You never know. Fantasies can happen. This isn't a porn, but like, you don't know. you fucking... You know what I mean? Anyway, the reverse scenario would be true. You're like, here's my, like, you're like, yeah, I know it's like a t-shirt, it's a woman's tee, and it's small on you. Probably wouldn't be because I'm fat, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what if it was like one of your like fitted tees and you're like, your pants are just too small on him or whatever, and you're like, oh, those pants are really tight on your ass and that baby tee is like showing your belly button, you slut. And you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Just saying it could be hot. So I get Kohei's emotions here. Yeah, we can all imagine it. We're here for this. I wondered if something was off, like if I'd missed some shampoo in my hair. No, you're just here in his pants and he wants to be in them with you. When I asked him, he responded vaguely in a strained voice. Do you think we're going to get frisky right now? The game keeps bamboozling us with the frisky thing. Something's going to happen though. Something is happening, but then like his mom or someone's gonna come home. No, you just look like a child forced to wear grown-up clothes. The shirt sleeves reached my elbows, and I had to roll up the sweatpants to prevent them from dragging on the ground. Aw, I suppose anyone would have said the same thing if they saw me. But I pointed out that considering Minato's tall stature, most women would look like this wearing his clothes. He sighed, got up from his seat, and stepped closer to me. Just kiss me already. You know you want to. With barely any space left between us, I had to look up at him. Do you seriously have no idea what you're doing to me? She really does not right now, but... Suddenly, Minato's hand clasped around my arm. His grip was gentle, his fingers barely brushing against my skin. Almost soothing to the touch. Shit's about to go down. I don't know how much shit's about to go down and how much, but something is going down. His hand slowly traveled upward, slipping into the sleeve of the t-shirt. They're drawing this one out, and I'm not complaining. Or do you? His implications finally hit me. Paralyzed by the intensity of his gaze, I was unable to speak or move. Just kiss him. For a moment, we were both silent. Then... Well, whatever. I gave you those clothes in the first place. Forget what I said. You just cock-blocked yourself, you chuckle fuck! Rude! I really just thought something was... This game is a tease with him. I like it. It's aggravating. He draped a towel over my head roughly and released my arm. You're like, something is about to happen, and he's like, anyway, and you're like... You know, it took a lot for him to shove us away like this, though. Your hair's still wet. If you're not careful, you'll still catch a cold, even in dry clothes. Despite protesting that I could dry my hair myself, Minato insisted on doing it for me. I felt I was being cared for like a child, making my skin run hot with embarrassment, but it was strangely enjoyable. As he fussed over me, I noticed a book sitting on his bed. He must have been reading that when I was in the shower. I pointed it out. Notice he didn't change. I mean, obviously he changed his clothes. We just don't get a changed sprite, but... It's a book on economics. And besides novels, I like reading those types of books. His response reminded me of a previous conversation we had.
Don't you buy my headset, you stop that. This is not the game with the bird where you get lines. And besides, if you talk to people, you don't bite the microphone. You talk. You learn to chirp and say things. Or mumble or say hello to people. You don't bite the microphone because nobody wants to hear that in their ears.
The books? Why do you care, Amasawa? It was the day we walked to the station together for the first time. The book on his bed was similar to the one that fell out of his bag that day. Curious, I asked if he was studying for a potential career change in the future. Well, he's gonna need one if they catch him. He's never gonna be hired anywhere else again. Well, yeah, something like that. His vague response concerned me, but I didn't push the matter. To change the subject, I asked about the plushie he'd sewn at my place. Yes, thank you for your help. She absolutely loves it. She loves it so much she sleeps with it every night. Actually, she knew right away I didn't pick it out alone. Kids sure can be perceptive, huh? When I told her I picked it out with you, Amasawa, she acted like she knew it was you that picked out the whole time. Minato's expression softened. I didn't do much, but I was delighted that the plushie Minato worked so hard on brought her such joy. She said she misses you. And please come by and say hi to her again sometime. I kind of thought that's why he was bringing us over, but nobody's here. The invitation to come again made my heart soar. And for once I embraced the feeling. Amasawa? Minato's voice broke through my thoughts, concern edging his tone thanks to my long silence. As my vision locked on his beautiful blue eyes, I felt an overwhelming urge to tell him how I felt. Just then, cock-blocked again. A distant beeping interrupted us. Leave the clothes! Oh, your clothes are dry. I couldn't bring myself to follow him. I crouched down to make myself small. My mind whirled with 1,000 thoughts that I couldn't articulate. I breathed in deeply, trying to calm my racing heart. Then I lightly slapped my cheeks, attempting to clear my head. Amasawa, what are you doing? Hearing him call for me, I hurried out of his room. When I passed by the window, the sky had finally cleared. Rainy days are a nice time to just curl up in bed and just go at it like rabbits or something, in this scenario. I saw Amasawa off outside. Just as I was about to go back inside, my phone rang unexpectedly. Let me guess who it is. It's Doi. Of course it is. The name that flashed on my screen belonged to the last person I wanted to talk to. While ignoring him would only make matters worse. Reluctantly, I answered the call. Hello? Hey, dude. You busy? Doi sounded oddly cheery. Given that I'd never heard him sound this happy before, I immediately felt uneasy. What does this nerd want, though? Seriously? No. What do you want? Oh, I know you're real busy now. Don't lie to me. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, still playing innocent, huh? Let me enlighten you, then. The next words Doi spoke left me completely taken aback. And that chick you just had over? Damn, she's hot. She with you? Huh? I whipped around and looked everywhere, but there was no sign of him. How did you... Yeah, I wonder, right? So what's the deal? Is she with you or not? I was at a loss. How much did he know? I had a feeling he'd see through me if I lied, but I didn't think I had a choice. No, I barely know her. I'd be like, she's she's a friend from work. She's a friend, and I ran into her in the street, and it was raining. Is that so? Well, not like I give a shit. But hey, don't you have work to do? What are you doing chasing tail on the clock, You haven't brought us any useful information to the table. You haven't brought any useful information to the table lately. Are you serious about this or not? I'm sorry. Ugh. I've had enough of your empty apologies. You know what your job is, right? Hey, if you can't provide me any valuable information, then you're gonna have to sabotage Astarcy instead. What? Doi scoffed. Why so surprised? I mean, that's how it works, right? If you can't boost me up, you can at least tear my enemies down, right? Obviously, he works for a rival app, you know. Once a Starcy gets shut down, you can just go work for some other crappy app. Don't, you're being a jerk. You're being a doy right now. This guy, his name is Doy, he's a jerk, and that's what you're being. You're being a big fat jerk. Makes no difference to me, so you figure out what you want. Bye. We need to push him in front of a bus. Doy hung up abruptly, leaving me to swallow his threats on my own. He was watching me? Since when? And from where? That was just a warning. If Doy wanted, he could easily use Amasawa as leverage. A wave of dread crashed into me, and I kicked myself for being so negligent. I never should have given him another weakness to exploit. He already had my family to hold over my head after all. But I let my guard down. I let myself have feelings for Amasawa, and I gave Doy another way to control me. I can't afford to let anyone else get involved with this. Oh, we're gonna have... Now we're really gonna... Like, he's been a little hot and cold. You know? And, like... Well, I mean, to be fair, Mitsuki was a little like that. Like, we're kind of friendly, and then no, and then yes, and then no, and he's kind of a... But then he had the, like, never talking to us, but that was after the rumors and everything. That was a lot more dramatic than this. Like, Minato's, like, not doing really good at trying to stay away from us, basically. So I don't know if we're going to have a dramatic turn, like how Mitsuki ran away from us, and then we had to go find him and be like, why are you leaving me? And then he's like, I was just trying to protect you. And Kohei's going to do the same thing, basically. A few days passed since my visit to Minato's place. I was at Tempesty. It's a travesty. In the company of Director Kobase and Minato. Typically, those of us in the operations team rarely visited other companies. However, Director Kobase told us the meeting would revolve around the schedule for our joint venture app. Good job, both of you. You can head straight home for today. At the office entrance, after the meeting, Director Kobase glanced at his watch and dismissed us for the day. I just love his outfit, because first of all, his shirt's untucked, his collar's unbuttoned and showing, like, so much cleavage, and he's got 3/4 sleeves. The 3/4 sleeves is, like, seriously, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a men's shirt with 3/4 sleeves. And they're not even just, like, rolled up. Like, are they supposed to be rolled? They don't look like they're rolled up, but, like, whatever. Even if they were rolled up, you know, it's like, this is very, like, chillaxed at home on a Sunday. Not, well, this is how we go to work in the summer. I mean, this is absolutely how we go to work in the summer, but I just meant Kobase seems like the type who does not ever dress like this unless this is his relaxing at home, and you're like, you relax at home in khakis? Are you okay? Are you a serial killer? That's only one step down on the serial killer totem pole to relaxing at home in jeans. Like, I go home, I change into jeans to relax on my couch. That is the #1 sign that you are a serial killer, okay? Because that is not, you are, no. What the fuck? Jeans aren't comfortable at all. It's one thing to wear them out for fashion, but to come home, change into them and relax? No, what is wrong with you? Especially if you put on a belt. That's even worse. But, like, khakis are, like, a step down from that, because khakis are, like, work pants. It's like you're going out, you're leaving the house. These are not lounge-at-home pants. But that is absolutely how I expect Kobase to dress on a lazy Sunday when most people are wearing sweatpants or comfy pants or yoga pants or whatever, and he's like, khakis. And you're like, because he would be like, I would never slum it in jeans. But again, relaxing in jeans, serial killer. Relaxing in khakis, something is wrong with you. But also fully expected for Kobase. This is not how he shows up to work. I'm just saying. This is so casual for him. Everybody else is pretty much normal, like normal people wearing normal clothes, and it's just weird. He's still like dressed up compared to the rest of them, but still. It's just so funny because I would fully have expected him to just be like, oh, that's your summer suit. Like you're still wearing a tie and everything. So him dressing normal and his shirt's not even tucked in is like, who are you? Like, oh, you're the type of man that keeps a boy toy sleeping on your couch named Nori. Okay, I got it. All right, okay. I cannot wait to romance this man. Anyway, at the office entrance after the meeting, Director Kobase glanced at his watch and dismissed us for the day. What? But our workday isn't over yet. Well, it will be by the time we get back. I've got other tasks to attend to, so I'll be heading back. But you two can head home. See you tomorrow. You're like, but my purse is at the office. With that, Director Kobase left Tempesty on his own. I turned to Minato, about to suggest we leave as well, but he walked out the door without a word. I followed him outside. When I reached out to stop him, he looked back with an irritated glance. I have some errands to run around here. You should go home by yourself. Without waiting for a response, he briskly walked away. Minato had been acting strange over the past few days. He was particularly curt with me, and I was reminded of his demeanor when I first joined the operations team. Whenever something was off with Minato, it typically had to do with his side job. Afraid that something was wrong, I hurried after him again to ask him directly. Then Minato, who was a few steps ahead of me, suddenly stopped in his tracks. Following his gaze, I spotted an unfamiliar man standing on the sidewalk. Oh, hey, Minato. Long time no see. How have you been? Didn't expect to see you here. Had a meeting at my office, did ya? I was wondering. I'm not surprised by this. I was really wondering. When he's like, bring me something to take down the competition, I was wondering if he worked here. Because, like... But I was like, but we work with Tempesty on, like, other things, so maybe not. But he could work in a different department. You know what I mean? Because, like, we have different apps going. Like, Astario has different apps. Tempesty has different apps. So just because the Astarcy team is working with Tempesty on something, you know, doesn't mean that Doi's not doing an app that would compete with Astarcy and, like... But it is weird. I mean, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it does seem weird that you'd work with a company that has a competing app with you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, competition is not all about kill the other app and we should be the only one. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you can still have friendly competition. Like, hey, you know, I mean, like, look how many fashion magazines are out there. You know, you're a little bit different than other you know what I mean? It's not like there can only be one. You know what I mean? Competition is healthy. And also, it's not like think about it with Otome games. There's a bazillion. Like, not enough are localized. We need more. Keep bringing them. I feel like even though we got a lot and we're still getting more for 2025, like games keep coming out, the localization announcements, do I just feel like it's 2025 now. Where's the next cycle of localizations that we're looking forward to? I know we still have games coming out this year, but like, I feel like we're in a drought again. There was all of a sudden news and it was like, there's like 800 games! And then it's like, okay, but like, yeah, and that one came out. And then the next month, that one came out. And it's not like they're not coming out, but I just need more announcements and things. I need, like, why, where, I might be out of the loop, but I'm like, where are they? It's 2025, motherfucker. Where are we getting the, like, late 2025, early 2026 announcement? Where are those coming? Come on. Come on, come on. Have me psyched for games that are coming out 5 years from now, okay? Because, like, we had a backlog of, like, 80 games. We might have, like, 2 sitting in backlog right now. Honestly, it's really only because we can't play P-Cube games, so that, like, takes, like, half the fucking localized games out of our backlog. It really does. You're like, that takes a lot. And Voltage is coming out with quite a few, but we can't play those. So so it's like the abundance is smaller. My backlog of games for me to play on my own is higher than my games to play with us. So, like, you know. I think I actually have 2 games sitting over there. 2 of the games that are sitting over there in that stack of 3 might be playable, and 1 I just pre-ordered. So, and there is another one that's sort of there, but I don't think that, I think that one got pushed back. But anyway, so then we might have like 3 by the time we finish these games. We might still have, but it's like, no, but we had a point where we were like, oh my God, there's like 80 games in the back. Now there's like 3. Guys, come on, I'm having a panic attack here. We're like, we're dwindling, and I don't like that. I don't like that. What's happening? But anyway, you know what I mean? There's different companies that make different games, and they're not really, yeah, I guess they're competing because you're doing the same type of game, but more game, more better. You know, I guess it's different with games because it's like, we can play 12 different games, but like, how many news apps do you need? To be fair, I have 2 different weather apps. You know what I mean? But like, and you have multiple social media apps. So like, you can have multiple like of these apps. You just prefer one over the other. But hey, I like a Starcy for A, B, and C, but the Tempesty app does better at D, and I like going that one. And then I also use it for B as well. You know, like, but Doi is obviously a douche. Capital D for douche. So anyway, well, yes. The stranger, who seemed to be an acquaintance of Monato's, approached us with a friendly grin. Judging by the way he spoke, he seemed to be a Tempesty employee. As I watched him, the man suddenly noticed me and approached. Hello, nice to meet you. Are you Monato's colleague? I'm Doi. I went to college with Monato here. He offered his business card, and I gave him mine in return with a smile. We're actually pretty good friends. We keep in touch pretty frequently, right? I wouldn't say we were that close. This kid never changes. At first glance, their interaction reminded me of how Saltame and Minato typically teased each other in the office, but this time Minato looked grim, even a little fearful. Upon seeing my puzzled expression, Doi's mouth stretched into a lighthearted smile. Hey, are you free today? How about we all go for a drink? What? You can't just... What, you busy? Guess you don't have to join us then. You're not taking me or Amasawa anywhere. Oh, and who the hell are you to decide what Amasawa can and can't do? She told me she has plans. Besides, aren't you supposed to be working, Doi? Minato quickly shut down the conversation, then turned to me with a stern expression. See, he was all gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore her, and then Doi shows up and he's like, this is mine! You don't play with my toys! I'm okay with it, I'll allow it. I need to speak with him for a few minutes. Amasawa, please go ahead without me. Minato grabbed Doi's arm and dragged him away. Since Doi was a friend from college, I guess their conversation was personal, not business-related. Well... Despite that, I couldn't shake off a nagging sense of unease about Minato's behavior. As I headed toward the station, I looked back and caught sight of their retreating figures. After a moment's hesitation, I decided to discreetly follow them. Good! Spy! Yes! I was like, too bad you couldn't have dropped your phone with the speaker on in his bag, but how are you going to hear it if your phone is in it? You know what I mean? I was thinking, my brain went to what we did with, what's his face in Mitsuki's route, where we were like, had our phone calling Mitsuki, and then we were like bamboozling the other guy, our beautiful pixie elf. Listen, Doi looks like a douche. Pixie elf, I was here for him. I'm like, he's so precious. Why are you a bad guy? But, you know, anyway. Minato and Doi were talking in a back alley a short distance from Tempesty. Hidden in the shadows, I watched and listened to their conversation unfold. What are you up to? Huh? Why do you ask? I swear bumping into you today was a total coincidence. Anyway, don't forget, you still have a job to do. You haven't forgotten what we talked about, right? No, I remember. Glad to hear it. Hey, how about you get that woman to help? Never. Amasawa has nothing to do with this. The unexpected mention of my name made me jump. I couldn't fully comprehend the context, but it was clear their conversation was far from amicable. She's not like me. She's dedicated to her work, so... Oh, so you don't think she'd betray her company like you? Guess you really are smitten with her, huh? So have you decided? Are you gonna gather information for me, or are you gonna help me bring down a Starcy? His question made my eyes bulge. What did he mean, bring down a Starcy? No, not yet. Ugh, all bark and still no bite, huh? Even after everything I told you? Hey, I got an idea. How about I spill the beans to that woman you're so into? Please don't do that. Of course you don't want me to. You've been leaking her company's secrets. The worst kind of betrayal. She'll despise you for sure if she ever finds out. I barely managed to stifle a gasp, dumbfounded by his words. Cold sweat trickled down my back as anxiety and shock swirled inside me. Hey, I know what to do. If you still need more time, how about you let me borrow that girl until you make up your mind? Excuse me! First of all, I'm not property. Second of all, even if I were okay with being Kohei's property, which, like, in a Tomei game, sure, fine. What the fuck? You don't get to just ask to have me. That's not how this works. I might agree to being his, but that doesn't mean he just gets to hand me around. The fuck? The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this douche. Now, we weren't even going to call him a bitch. He's a douche. Huh? What do you mean by that? Come on, don't play dumb with me. You know exactly what I mean. Minato sees Doi by the collar, rage darkening his expression. I'm just going to say, he might be doing corporate espionage. Okay? And sharing your company's secrets. And pulling a Jenna Rink and selling all your poise secrets to Sparkle over here. But, like, he's about to kick a man's ass for implying that he should trade you to him so that Doi can get down and dirty with you. And he's going to kick his ass, and I'm here for that. I wanted to intervene, but my feet were rooted to the spot. No. Let him kick the bitch's ass. Although it is nice that they did give Doi freckles. I mean, I said that before, but that's kind of cute. Like, you can see him, so. It's about the only thing about you that doesn't scream douche is like, oh, he's got cute little freckles. Fuck him up. Fuck him up, Kohei. Go on, hit me if you want, but you'll be in for it the second you do. You want to get arrested for assault, huh? You bastard. You only got yourself to blame for your lack of motivation. Doi grinned as he smacked away Minato's hands from his shirt. What, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? Nah, you're exactly the same as this bastard. I'm well aware. Anyways, I can't wait much longer. I'll give you another week. Decide what you're gonna do by then. There's no way out, so don't even think about running. Leaving Minato with those unsettling words, Doi departed. Minato looked deathly pale in the dim light. I was torn about what to do. Leave or talk to him. I wanted nothing more than for him to dismiss everything I heard as a lie, but the chance of it being true frightened me. I mean, he didn't deny it, so you're just in a Delulu land if you think he's gonna, lie. Tell you that it was. No, it's not true. I was frozen in place, my mind a whirlwind of fear and anxiety. I decided to walk away quietly when suddenly she's not gonna trip and fall. My shoulder bag slipped and fell. Huh? Who's there? Minato's sharp voice forced me out of hiding. I would have just stayed there and not snuck away. Upon seeing me, his eyes widened. Amasawa. After a long, hard stare, Minato averted his gaze. What are you doing here? Are you lost or something? He was clearly trying to change the topic. I imagined how much easier it would have been to give him a non-committal response and leave things as they were. You know your way back, right? I have to go. As Minato turned to leave, I moved swiftly. Acting on instinct, I lunged to grab his arm, holding him back. Can you please let me go? Despite his request, Minato didn't try to break free from my grip. He looked down, seemingly resigned to the confrontation. Taking a deep breath, I asked him if there was any truth to what Doi said. I longed for him to deny it, but Monato's silence and pained expression confirmed my worst fears. They said more than words ever could. Confusion and disappointment jabbed at me. I drew closer to Monato. So what? Monato's response stopped me short. No, there's no special reason. It was just an easy way to make some extra cash. Guilty? Not at all. I don't have any loyalty to Astario. If you want to report me to the company, be my guest. I won't stop you. Oh, unless you're conflicted. His smile felt like a slap in the face as he stepped toward me. Now you're being a dick. I mean, I get it. He's like a cornered cat. But because he feels ashamed of what he's doing. You know, he's like, I don't have any loyalty to them. I mean, fair enough. He's like, oh, unless you're conflicted because, you're into me. And now you're being a dick. Now you're being a douche. Since you're such a good person, Amasawa, are you going to keep my secret for me? Better yet, want to help me out? My results have been underwhelming recently, and I could use someone like you. He's doing this because, if he just admit, yes, it's true, but I don't want you to hate me, and then we're like, how dare you? We run off. He feels bad. You know what I mean? But if he's if he acts like an ass, and we go away, he's like, oh, well, she just couldn't handle it. It's like he's trying to protect himself, and he doesn't want us to look at him with a disappointed face. But if we're angry because he is saying shit like this, you know what I mean? If he's like, yeah, I am doing it, and whatever, and we're disappointed and sad, that's gonna hurt. But if he acts like a dick and we're like, fuck you, and we get all mad, he's like, whatever. It's easier to deal with someone being mad at you. Someone's like, whatever, and walks away, than if they're like, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That's why I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Is disappointment is so much more of a slap in the face than someone being angry. So, he knows what he's doing right now. He was speaking pure nonsense. This wasn't the Minato I knew. Speechless, I only managed to shake my head in refusal. Oh, you're colder than I thought. You won't even do this one simple thing for the guy you like? My jaw dropped. My wide-eyed shock elicited a scornful laugh from him. What, surprised? It was obvious to anyone, and now he's just being a douche. He's so just being a douche because it's easier than because we'll turn away from him. You know what I mean? And then he'll be like, well, she turned away from me instead of I had to push her away and that hurts. Again, it's easier to make someone mad and have them turn their back on you than to turn your back on them and leave them sad and dejected if you're the good person that he is, you know? That's a bummer. Thought you'd make a useful pawn. Anger made my blood run hot and... Oh, cry. I want to cry because if we get angry, that's what he wants. How dare you? You slap him across the face and then he's like, good, she's mad at me. She'll stop talking to me and then I'm sad inside, but I don't have to let her know. But if we cry, that's going to break him. We need to cry. Yes, yes, yes. I know we're over time, but this part's here. Cry. Yes. Listen, I want to slap him in the face while I cry. Tears rolled down my face, unbidden, and I couldn't get any words out. Minato simply averted his gaze, offering no response at all. Was that really the reason he did all this? No, but this is going to needle away and kill him. Biting words tumbled out of my mouth as though a dam within me had burst. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. And just as I was about to utter something I knew I couldn't take back... Just shut up already! Oh my god, is he going to kiss me? I thought I saw his hands trembling before he abruptly pulled my face toward him. This is the kiss scene. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Look at this CG. You know, I'm not gonna lie. We are 2 for 2 at they're trying to push us away. No, whatever, I'm gonna be like a stubborn little bastard. He's being a stubborn bastard. Mitsuki was being a stubborn bastard. And then we're like, I just don't understand why you want... And then they just grab us and force kiss us violently. After pissing us off. Or making us upset. The violent pin on the desk. The violent grabbing and forcing your tongue down my throat. I'm just saying. There's a theme here, and I just do not see any issues with this whatsoever. Okay? I do not mind it whatsoever. Bravo. I just, okay. All right, you were going for the romance novel, like, passionate kiss in the midst of anger. Okay, you're on theme, sure. Before I knew what was happening, our lips locked together. My words were captured by his desperate lips, my breath stolen by his touch. His grip on me was unyielding, unwilling to let me go. I was secure in his arms. I'm not moaning for him, though. We parted for a moment, and I gasped for air before his lips crashed onto mine again. Despite my bewilderment, I clung to Minato, catching his arm in a vice grip. The world fell away. I didn't know how long we held on to each other. Only when my lungs cried for air and tears welled up in my eyes did he reluctantly pull away. I mean, that is hot, I'm not gonna lie. You have no idea. His voice was strained, teetering on the brink of tears. I love that is how it ends. Because how and why I left that place was all hazy to me. How and why we ended up in the next part is not going to be hazy to you, but there you go. I will. Listen, I am here for the. It's pent up. Like, okay, listen. You know how there's always in a game. Thank God we haven't seen it in a while. I feel like, but there's always the like, you should just be wary of me because you're a girl and you're in my room and I'm a man, like men are wolves, all that kind of shit. And you were like, oh, for fuck's sake, stop perpetuating that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't contain myself because you're here. I might just pounce on you and take advantage of you. I'll kick you in the nuts, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like that kind of bullshit where you're like, this is like a tame version of that where you're like, I will allow it. Because it is the, like, I am so pent up because they like you so much and they got feelings for you and they're trying to push you away and then they're just like, fuck it! And then they just kiss you. Because they know that you're into them at this point. They don't just kiss you for no reason. It's not like you have no interest in Mitsuki when he slams you on the desk and shoves his tongue down your throat. He knows you like him. Kohei knows you like him right now. So you know what I mean? So this is the acceptable version of like I just can't take it, you being near me, and I'm just, I can't take my urges, and then they just force kiss you. Because, again, we're already into them and they know it. So, yes, the like, can I kiss you consent is sexy and beautiful, but this is acceptable. This is the acceptable version of the, I can't control myself. Okay. Because you know I'm into it. You know I'm going to be okay with it. I might be a little shocked, but you know I'm probably going to be fat and like, whatevs. Go for it. I'm okay with this, you know? So, because they've been trying to hold back if they're all going to be like this though, I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Kobase better do this. Pin me up against a wall or something. Dear God. We already got the desk pin, but I need that again. You know I like being pinned against shit. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.